All right, ladies, so we've come to the fun part of our Facebook party. I'm going to show you how to apply these nail wraps. So the very first thing that you need to do, and the most important step, is making sure that you prep your nails properly. So for the very first thing, you're going to wash your hands. I just wash mine in Dawn dish soap. Best thing about Dawn, using Dawn to wash your hands, is it gets the grease out. So if you have any excess oils in your nails, it'll help to take care of that. Then the next thing I typically do is make sure I've gathered everything I'm going to need in order to apply the wraps. So for me, that's going to be the sheet of wraps that I'm going to be applying. These were the exclusives from December's Hostess Rewards. So I have those ready. I've got my heater, or if you prefer a hair dryer, buffer, file, scissors, your cuticle pushers, and your clippers. So once you have all of those things, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to push back your cuticles. So I'm just going to do one of my nails so that you can see. And that'll be your first step. And you're going to push back the cuticles that are at the bottom and also all along the sides, because you don't want any of the wrap to be laying on top of your cuticle. Second thing that you're going to do is you're going to wipe your nail with an alcohol wipe. Now when I apply my wraps, normally I start with the pinky. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the wrap that best fits each of your fingers. And what's nice about these is they're on a clear backing, so you can easily put your fingernail up against the wrap to be able to see which wrap is going to fit best for that particular finger. And I know for this finger here, this wrap is going to fit best. You want one that's a little bit small so that it's not touching the edge of your cuticle. That helps it to stay the best. You don't want anything too wide that's going to be touching your skin or your cuticle. So one at a time then, I wipe my nail with the alcohol wipe. One at a time, because, you know, as the process goes on, if you got to stop and start, some of those oils might get on there. Also, if you are someone who has more oils on your fingers or more oily complexion, this is a great tool that you can use. I got this off Amazon. It's called Gelish. It's pH Bond. I don't know that you can see it. But it's really helpful for people who have a little bit more oily skin. I think this was $2 something on Amazon. Not necessary for application, but if you have trouble with sometimes their wraps lifting, it might be something you want to give a try. So the next step then is I'm going to apply these. And so what I'm going to do is I use the wooden cuticle pusher to pull the wrap up, get it off of the plastic, and if you have to touch it, you want to touch it on the very end, not on this part over here, because that's the part that's going to go onto your nail. So I just got my heater going. I'm going to warm that up real good. It's nice and quiet. And then I'm going to heat the wrap. And you'll notice it just start to curl slightly. So when I apply it, set it on top of the nail. And what you can do is you can make sure and double check to make sure it's centered before you push anything down. So if you have to pick it up and move it around, you can do that before it's set. And then what I recommend doing is pushing from the top first, pushing it all the way up to the top, and then smoothing out the sides second. So you have a nice smooth finish. They're heat and pressure activated, so really it's the heat and this pressure that's going to help. After that, I'll usually heat it one more time, give it a little more heat, and then I'll take my cuticle pusher and just put pressure all the way around to make sure there are no bubbles, make sure it's on there nice and solid. After that finger's done then, and again, if I was just starting off, it would be the pinky, and move on to the next pinky and do all of my nails. And I would not trim or cut this until I'm all finished with all my hands, because the whole idea is to let this cool slightly, or cool all the way before you trim. Otherwise, you may have lifting at the tips. So once you make sure that this is all cool, you can do this one of two ways. I believe in the Jamberry application video, they have you trim the excess with the scissors. This is really difficult for me. I have trouble trimming with the scissors. So simply what I do is I use my clippers. And you could either clip, I keep my nails very short. So what's easiest for me is to just clip my nail and the wrap all together. There's no filing involved at all. However, if you have longer nails, you keep your nails longer, you might want to do filing. So I'm going to trim it first. Not all the way to the nail, but pretty close to it. And then I have my Jamberry file. You're going to want more of a thicker grit. That tends to help a lot more. And at a 90-degree angle, we're going to file the excess right off. And you'll see as you go that it'll just start to fall away. See mine already coming up. And there you have it. It's a little hard to tell. It's a little better. But it's right on there. So easy. Takes no time at all. I don't have one with me, but one other step I can do, and I usually do with these, is I will take a glass file. So if you have one at home, this helps too, is to take a glass file and at slightly more than a 90-degree angle, come across the surface. And what that does is it just takes a teeny little tiny bit off of the top here, off of the tip, so that if you have some that tend to catch, it's all off the top and it's just nice and smooth with your nail. So that's one other thing that you can do. And after you're done applying, you can give it a little extra heat with your heater, just to make sure it's on there nice and solid. And you are all set with your beautiful new nails. Simple, easy, and a lot of fun.